All right, let's dive into something that's a huge opportunity, but also pretty risky if you don't know what you're doing. We're talking about managing multiple Pinterest accounts. Now, whether you're running an agency, you've got a bunch of niche websites, or you're an e-commerce brand, you are definitely going to want to stick around for this. So, why are we so obsessed with Pinterest in the first place? Well, it all comes down to this one number. A crazy 93% of users are literally on the platform to plan out their purchases. This isn't just mindless scrolling, you know? These are people with high intent, actively looking to buy things. That makes Pinterest an absolute gold mine for traffic, and more importantly, for sales. And because of that super high intent behavior, we're in what you could call the Pinterest gold rush. You have to stop thinking of Pinterest as just another social media site. It's not. It's a visual search engine. And get this, the average order value from traffic that comes from Pinterest is higher than any other social platform out there. People go there specifically to discover, to plan, and to buy. It's a massive opportunity if you're trying to target more than one niche. So you might be asking yourself, okay, is this really for me? Well, chances are, yeah. If you're a social media agency juggling, say, 10, 20, 30 clients, or a niche site operator with blogs about recipes and DIY, or maybe an e-commerce brand with totally different product lines, this is exactly how you scale your efforts. It lets you expand your reach without muddying the waters and confusing your audience for each brand. But, and this is a huge but, here comes the catch. Pinterest is super strict about spam. If their algorithm even gets a tiny whiff that all of your accounts are secretly connected and run by the same person, it can flag you. It's called coordinated inauthentic behavior, and it puts every bit of your hard work at risk of going up in smoke. This is the central problem we have to solve. So, how in the world do they connect your accounts? Well, they use this clever, kind of creepy technique called browser fingerprinting. Just think of it like a digital fingerprint that's unique to your computer. Platforms like Pinterest gather all these little data points, like your browser type, the plugins you use, your screen resolution, even your fonts, and they mash it all together to create a unique ID for you. So if you log into 5 different accounts from the same browser, you're leaving the exact same fingerprint at the scene of the crime every single time. And here's why that is so dangerous. On the left, you see what happens when you use one browser for everything. All your accounts are linked with that one fingerprint. So if just one of your accounts gets flagged for something minor, Pinterest can see the whole network and suspend all of them in one go. It's a domino effect. But on the right, when you use isolated browsers, each account gets its very own unique fingerprint. To Pinterest, they look like completely separate people. And that is the secret to keeping your accounts safe. Okay, enough for the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. This is where we get into your strategic toolkit. To really win at this game, you need the right content strategy, the right tools, and of course, the right safety measures. So let's kick things off with content. First thing you have to know, the Pinterest algorithm absolutely loves creators who bring fresh, new value to the platform. It's hungry for it. That's why this 80-20 rule is so incredibly important. For every single one of your accounts, you should aim for 80% of your pins to be brand new, original content that links back to your stuff. The other 20%, that can be you sharing other creators' content, to fill out your boards and be a good community member. And that SEO mindset has to apply to every single pin you design. I'm serious. Don't forget, Pinterest is a search engine. Your title needs your target keywords. Your description should be about 200 to 300 characters long with a couple of relevant keywords sprinkled in. And please, always use that perfect 2:3 aspect ratio. Oh, and make sure your text on the image is super clear. You're not just making pretty pictures here, you're making them discoverable. Now, obviously, posting all this stuff manually across a bunch of accounts it's not going to happen. It's just not scalable. You need a scheduling tool. So looking at the options here, Tailwind is an official Pinterest partner, so it's amazing for people who are all in on Pinterest. Hootsuite is a great pick if Pinterest is just one part of your bigger social media puzzle. And then there's Later, which is perfect for visual-first brands who really want to coordinate their Pinterest and Instagram feeds. But here's the thing. None of those scheduling tools solve that big, scary browser fingerprinting problem we talked about. For that, we need to flip what I call the safety switch. This is the crucial tech layer that protects all of that amazing content and strategy you've been working on. And this right here, this is the core idea of this whole explainer. You can have the best content strategy in the world, the most beautiful pins, but if your operational security is weak, you're basically building a house of cards. The real solution isn't just about what you're posting. It's about the technical environment you're posting it from. So how does this protection actually work? It's way simpler than it sounds. For each of your Pinterest accounts, you just launch a new, isolated browser session. The second you do that, it instantly creates a totally unique browser profile and fingerprint. So when you log into Pinterest, the platform just sees a brand new, totally unrelated user. Your accounts never even know the others exist. The tech that makes this possible is called browser isolation, and a tool the source material mentioned that does this is Sendwin. The way it works is that each tab you open is a completely sandboxed or isolated environment. It lets you manage tons of accounts, each with its own fingerprint, all from the same window. It's literally designed to solve that core risk of getting your accounts linked. So let's put all the pieces together. You combine that SEO-first content strategy with efficient scheduling tools, and you build it all on a foundation of browser isolation for safety. That is the complete system. It's how you turn multiple Pinterest accounts into a predictable, scalable, growth-making machine. Okay, so how do you know if all this work is actually paying off? By tracking the right metrics. I mean it. Forget vanity numbers like impressions. As you can see here, your #1 goal is outbound clicks. That's actual traffic going to your website. Next, keep a close eye on your save rate. If you're hitting around 2 to 5%, that tells you your content is really hitting the mark. And finally, track your overall engagement rate. This data shows you what's working so you can do more of it. And that really brings us to the main takeaway. The goal isn't just to throw more pins at the wall and see what sticks. Success on Pinterest, especially when you're juggling multiple accounts, is all about pinning smarter and pinning safer. It's about quality, it's about optimization, and it's about protection. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. You're putting in all this time and effort creating amazing content, but are you actually taking the steps to protect that investment? Because at the end of the day, the best strategy in the world doesn't mean a thing if your accounts aren't secure. Thanks for watching.